there's a box that says remember these settings.
Oh, I didn't press it.
Yeah, no, it's right at the top. It's the first box.
Oh, that's nice. I love it.
It's the first one.
The little tiny one on the top that's small.
I mean, nice. it's like regular size.
For whom?
Of all the other boxes on there.
It was a small box.
Well, I mean, it's the first box.
Yes.
It's the first one.
The first box with tiny lettering and a tiny little box.
It is the same lettering as all the other ones.
All tiny and evil.
So, like, do you just not read any of the words? Is it just like...
I just type in my stream and go ooga booga.
You don't look for the save button? No?
I thought the save button was down at the bottom where it says create stream.
No, it was the first
and
word.
And start streaming.
It was the first one.
No, just the biggest words on the page have fuck all to do with what they say. The create stream and start streaming, or the create stream.
You know, as a hot-blooded American, I think I usually start with the top of the page and work my way down.
I start with the biggest letters. See, that's where you're not a real American.
Well, that's
not a real American.
That's how you know that McDonald's has you. Yeah.
That's how I know. See, you're not from America. We look for the big M, not the little M. Not the first M.
You don't look for the save file?
No. I look for the game. Because I'm trying to get to the game.
To be a small little button.
Who needs a save file when there's a video game right next to it?
I'm not struggling with it, so...
I'm just saying. You don't live like a free man, and I understand that.
Well, free of frustration, I would say. That's what I would be free of.
Not
free of frustration.
You're free of freedom, though.
It's like going to Carl's Jr. and you
what
see
the fuck is a kilometer?
2 for $5 Western bacon isn't 2 for $5 as in 2 of them are $5, but 2 of them each are $5.
Yeehaw! Fuck your kilometer.
You know, it's nice to be free of frustration, but you know
it's nice to have freedoms.
Yeah, the freedom to be frustrated. The freedom to go to the
dirty
hospital
Euro
and be like,
trash.
oh my god, I'm frustrated over this $18,000.
We don't got bills in Europe. See, that's how I know. I know. We got the best bills in America, though.
Yeah.
We got the best bills. We tell you all you need to know.
The best bills.
We got 80. Yeah, it's in big fine ass letters too. 82 fucking grand.
Yeah,
that's how much you
they
owe.
They want you to see how much you owe them.
That's
why the numbers are.
There are no frustrations in America, like there are none in Europe. Europe has no bills, and America has only big ones.
That's how it works. Yep, that's how it works. You only read the big letters on the big sign.
Don't let them know your next move, boys.
Yeah.
Alice, whose name we have changed to protect her identity.
Maybe we should preface this.
Oh, yeah. So who does Ben Shapiro hate this time?
No, he doesn't hate, but rather he loves. And he loves Russel Brand. Oh, I shouldn't say love, but he is certainly defending Russel Brand and bringing up an age-old Redditor 4chan argument, which...
Let's hear it. I want to hear it.
Alice, whose name we have changed to protect her identity, now realizes she wasn't fine. During a relationship that lasted for about 3 months when Brand was a BBC radio presenter. She says he referred to her as the child and alleges he became increasingly controlling and then emotionally and sexually abusive.
Watch.
So Russel Brand refers to somebody as the child, and go ahead.
Wait, fuck, I'm sorry. I'll cut it out later.
It lasted for about 3 months when Brand was a BBC radio presenter. She says he referred to her as the child and alleges he became increasingly controlling and then emotionally and sexually abusive. So at this time, Brand was 30. And she was apparently 16. Okay, now, in the United States, crime. In the UK, not crime. The age of consent in the UK is 16, and apparently Brand ascertained that she was 16 by asking her and checking. Which means...
That kind of makes it worse, doesn't it?
I just don't see why he would be focused like, well, you see, in their part of the world, it's okay. Like, when people bring up the whole thing, like, well, in Japan, you can do this, or in Mexico, you can do that. It's like, Ben Shapiro... with any other person wouldn't give a fuck. He would just call them dirty or disgusting, degenerate, say that they're, anti-God for committing these acts that he doesn't approve of. But for Russel Brand, he'll just say, oh, well, you see, in his country, it's okay. When has he ever went on a limb for a foreigner and said, well, in their country, it's okay?
Dude, Japan's
no, like
not even that
he wouldn't
gross.
do that for anyone else but someone that's on his side. Like,
but even for Japan though, they're not that gross. I think most of the country is 18. Like the only 2 places where it's 16 are places where no one lives. Literally, no one lives. They're like 2 uninhabited islands. I gotta check that and make sure. But still,
it's something that 4chaners or Redditors will bring up, and it's fucking disgusting. But I think it's just funny that Ben Shapiro would just do the same argument for Russel Brand.
I mean, Does he defend child marriage?
What?
Does Ben Shapiro defend child marriage?
I'm
gonna look that up.
You're talking about the one. What was it? Was it Virginia, where they had the bill where basically Democrats were saying to stop child marriages with adults, and then Republicans said, "No, we're not going to stop that." I mean, I don't know if he really talked about it. Ben Shapiro sort of, he doesn't talk about a lot of like bills like that. Even though he talks about protecting the children, it's sort of fucked up that he doesn't address that on his own side. They'll be for child marriage bills, which is like, that's the end point, right? Like, I know Ben loves marriage, but like, do you like it in that way? Like, that'd be really fucking weird.
See, these I don't.
All right, so
let's not do this now.
Oh,
never mind. No, I'm finding videos of him trying to encourage people to get married after like a year.
Well, and it's not uncommon in a lot of these like religious communities and these tight knit groups where they're like, your daughter will be perfect with this guy's son, and they like play mix and match, even though that their ages might be pretty far apart.
I mean, that shit's a business in parts of the world. Like most of the world, like they shouldn't take dowries. And
that's how it originates. It's like you want to bring up the wealth of your family, or you want to make sure that they have a good like partner. But usually, it was like, your family has 12 donkeys and I only have 2. Let's play mix and match.
Man, it could be money, it could be houses. It's a modernized process now these days, and that is way too damn right.
I just like how maybe in the full video it is addressed that Russel Brand called somebody the child, and then he went ahead and did sexual things to them.
It's fucked. And
does that just fly over the head?
Like, it's just the weird thing about someone who's that old going for someone that young.
Yeah.
It's like, why, okay. I know in the UK, see, that's what makes... I'll throw one bone. It does make the cultural thing harder to analyze. Because from our perspective, no, you're never going to be, in a bar. Most bars won't even take you if you're under 21.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think in the UK you can drink. So you can drink young. You can drink kind of young. So maybe that's one thing that they're all more closely associated. But that's weird too, though.
You can argue the culture and legality is different, but
I'm not saying
the
it's
fact that
good.
you would see somebody as the child.
No, I'm saying that. Know. Oh yeah, no. The fact that he said it's a child. All I'm saying, just so people are clear, is that it's harder for Americans, I think, for us to see what he's saying. But it's also weird that you go into it saying it's a child.
Yeah, no, it's like
like
in your head you already sort of had it thought,
Yeah, you had a goal. It's kind of
we'll see.
Because
I wish there was recordings of all these, and that's the part
you
where
get what I mean though, right? Because over here, you can't drink until let's be frank. If you have normal family, probably drink when you're 18. But that's the youngest you go. Most people go. So you're never gonna see no 21-year-old in a bar unless they got a fake ID. And
you mean 18-year-old in a bar?
Or sorry,
yeah, because you said 21.
People under 21.
Yeah,
my bad. People under 21.
Yeah, I was gonna be like,
my
there's
bad.
a lot of 21-year-olds in the bar.
Hopefully, right?
You get the ticket and you're gonna go on the ride, right? Boom.
Yeah.
In your first time.
So that's so maybe they culturally associate more, but I don't know if bars let in people that young. I don't think they would. Don't they have curfews for people?
There might be clubs where you wear wristbands if you're 21 to be able to get drinks. That's the only time where they would intermingle.
Yeah, it's not as common. So that would be my guess. But I don't know if they even let young people like that into bars.
No, they shouldn't.
They probably
They're supposed to ID them. Yeah, that's why there's a bouncer.
What about in the UK? UK drinking age.
No, the drinking age in the UK is.
Oh, it's 18. Yeah. It's not even 16.
Although, if I remember right...
Oh, shit. Never mind. I remember talking to people who talk about drinking at 16.
If I remember right, you might be able to do it at 16 if, your parents are there. So, I think there's a parental thing if you're younger.
Okay. Yeah. Someone's...
company
can drink.
Yeah, and licensed premises... Except in Northern Ireland, because the war in Ireland from the UK.
They're not real Irishmen.
Mm.
Okay, Irishmen drink. Okay, I'm Scottish, so I would know.
Oh boy, I wouldn't know.
Fucking right.
I'm closer to fucking native than I don't know.
Yeah, what are you, an Azteco?
Southern American bloodline.
What do they call you, Aztec? What are you Aztec?
I don't know if Aztec, I want to say my specific
proud Aztec warrior.
My specific race and ethnicity. How much doxing is there? There'll like be some psycho like analysis.
You're Cuban.
Great.
I'm Cuban
A
too.
lot of cigars.
Our names could pass for Cuban.
I don't know if mine can.
Both are Spanish.
Well,
Both names are Spanish.
yeah.
So
I mean,
probably could.
But then again, even in the Philippines, you get some Spanish names.
Yeah, no, you got some in Guam too. They're all like it's all the names in Guam.
Yeah.
So
You can pass as anything then.
well, I just let people
Just
know what the fuck
anywhere
I
that
am.
the Spanish colonies reached their, cock toward, it's just...
Yeah, but
We'll
anywhere that shitty ass empire landed its shitty fucking pizza eating.
they're one of
boats.
the biggest... Weren't they technically bigger than... I don't want to say they were bigger than Britain, but there was a certain metric in which they were bigger than Britain. But it's like the debate about the biggest trees in the U.S., right? Like, some of them are thicker, some of them are taller, some of them are older. It's just, what metric are you going for here?
I mean, the Ottomans were pretty big if you want to bring them into it.
Yeah.
They're spread pretty far out.
Although, I would say the biggest and the baddest would be the Mongols, but...
Oh, well, you just
Yeah.
like the Mongols.
Well, I guess they're the biggest by continuous landmass.
The Ottomans were very close to getting to the Atlantic. They were like very close.
Like the Mongols stopped short in basically when they got into Europe because the terrain was different.
Hungary, I think they stopped in Hungary.
No, they stopped. Yeah, because apparently there was problems with terrain and weather.
Yeah,
They the same reason why they got
armored
fucked with
knights
Japan.
on horseback, which is crazy. Could
Yeah.
you imagine being like an aristocratic knight and being fed all the bullshit like, oh, I'm better than these peasants, and then some peasant basically shoots you between your fucking face shield.
Yeah, with their bow from 100 yards away on a horseback,
Screaming in some scary...
Yeah,
Like,
and they have 4 horses pulling cannons to your wall. Just ended the age of fucking walls, right? There was walled cities, and then when the Mongols came, there wasn't. There was no point anymore. They destroyed them.
Sure.
They
but
showed that they were useless.
You know who would beat the Mongols? The admiral from Korea who never lost a fight.
Oh, they're gonna say "Goes to Shinema." The Goes to Shinema.
That would have been even, dude. God damn it, that would have been a meme. No,
They ended the age of
no.
them.
It was the Storm. Okay, he's called the Storm.
Oh, he's called the Storm.
Yeah, he's called
I'm an Xbox player.
The tornado killed the Mongols. The tornado was the main character from the game.
The Tornado.
Tornado.
Wow.
What are we even doing? Oh, yeah, I'm... We're talking about bullshit.
A lot of bull.
Ben?
Scuzzy, scumbaggy behavior.
Well, I think we got to the point.
No, let's watch the rest.
Okay.
Oh, God, I don't know if I want to have freaking children screaming in the background of this one. Okay.
Sure. Criminal behavior, no. If you're, again, in the UK, and the age of consent changes from states, I would prefer the age of consent be 18. But if you're not going to have that, then that's what it is. Alice, whose name we've...
That's kind of weak, Ben.
That is very weak.
You know that's weak. Come on.
Well, if the law says it's okay, then you can do it.
Brother, we got states where the freaking premium... What was it, the minimum age of consent is 17?
Yeah, or you can have child marriages between older people that are not a minor and people that are a minor. And that's why, it just seems weird, the Republicans...
The child marriage law... Actually, you know what? There are child marriage laws in Democrat states, too. It's just more common in Republican states.
Yeah.
No, religion is a sick...
Although I'd argue that it happens in more rural areas than it does in cities.
Yeah, but the fact that it's a statewide, thing, that's fucked, man.
It's fucked.
The fact that the whole, damn near all the even for the people who want to get rid of it, they're not going to get rid of it because it's I'm not going to fight the governor. It's no point. They're going to lose.
Or they see it as too niche of a thing to really go over, which might be bad.
How would that be a niche?
Well, people don't really talk about it.
It's
people
not
talk about
niche,
LGBTQ stuff all the time, but they don't talk about how there's child marriage.
Yeah, they should.
They should, but it's
really
you're going to have to
should.
create... And it wouldn't be that hard to, but you have
really
to create
wouldn't.
a social media fervor around the issue.
Just find a mother's organization.
Yeah.
They'll get on it. Dude, the most screw, people spend millions and billions of dollars on political planners and court. No, just get a fucking group of mothers who are stay-at-home moms. Yeah. And you'll win. There you go.
Moms whose children have already gone to college, so they have all the free time in the world.
Empty nest syndrome.
Yeah, and then they just give them a new thing to take care of, and that'll be
the community.
Yeah, the political left.
God, I mean the right managed to do it.
Yeah, no,
They're
they did.
way better at it too.
Yeah, astroturfing as well.
They're just concerned mothers. What do you mean?
Concerned.
What's... I mean, okay, you know what? Me and you have... I'm going to be inflammatory with you. I brought that up before, and you're like, how could you even tell the difference? I think
what?
Between astroturfing not in, like, a legit movement. Because the way they pay people, They just find people who agree with them.
There might be some angles you'd be like, oh, yeah, as was... A legit movement would be... You're talking about the way that you, as an observer from the outside, could tell? Like, because in which angle are we going for here? Because, like...
How could you tell as an outsider?
Because, like, if you're watching... Let's say you're watching Fox News, right? And they say, like, look at these concerned parents that are voicing their opinion at Wyoming High School. You know, what... you, as a regular Fox News watcher, would not be able to tell that some of those parents are actually Republican radio hosts, or they may not even be from that school district.
Actually, I've seen that. I've been following. I don't want to talk about where. If you're like it's still an investigation, but I've seen that.
And as a basic observer, you wouldn't have any idea as to like astroturfing and what even that word means and that they're doing it. And there was an article that came out talking about how at a lot of libraries, it's just a few people telling the libraries to take down their books, and they decided we're going to start putting regulations to say only people who actually live in our fucking city can tell us to do it. So there'll be people in other states that are like, hey, so-and-so Wisconsin library and, this random city, take down all these books. But they never really noticed that, it's like 10 people telling thousands of libraries to take down the books.
I mean, in California, our state, I think it was like 2 districts or 2 counties.
Yeah.
They banned completely, like, flags of all kind. One of them banned flags of all kind, which I think is okay. But the other one banned LGBT flags.
And, like, you might have people from, like, Orange County telling people in, like, Bakersfield to do it.
Yeah. Because you can concentrate, because they're never going to get, like, LA County or San Francisco, but they might fuck around and get, like, San Jose, or they might get, like,
San Joaquin Valley, you get San Fernando Valley.
Bakersfield.
Maybe able to get down, like, Mojave, San Diego area, maybe.
Mojave City.
Yeah.
Like, they could get, like, if you can concentrate enough people in these ho-dump places. Because remember, counties also, like, what was it? Like, how does it work? Like, counties also vote, or districts vote? I forget exactly how that works. Like,
well, there's district-level voting.
Yeah, district votes. So if the districts can manage to hold on to some of the conservatives can even latch onto these ho-dump districts, that's how they maintain some level of presence.
Well, even then, if there's just enough public outcry between the people and the library, they'll just do it.
Yeah, but like you said before, and I've seen it too, they'll just send people from, it'll be like in Bakersfield, and they'll send people from, like, San Joaquin. In OC. Because
they're all together one cohesive movement, but then you also find that a lot of them could be paid from bigger orgs to be able to go and do all those things. That's
crazy to me.
Yeah.
The tentacles go far.
The tentacles do go far.
Alright, let's continue on then. On to the next one?
Yeah.
Alright. Man. So many tabs. Okay.
Tabs.
Tap. Oh, Australian farmer rediscovers a species that they thought was dead. They rediscovered a spotted quoll. Apparently the guy was trying to protect his animals from his chickens. And I guess he caught one of these in a trap.
Huh.
Yeah. And it's been gone for 130 years. You see, I always find that like we've seen so much of the world, but there's still bits of it that are still mysterious to us, and that's actually kind of like uplifting in a weird way, that there's still mysteries to solve.
Yeah. Well, there's probably a lot in the Amazon.
Yeah, no, this is in Australia. This is the mainland. But even Australia, there's parts of Australia that are pretty remote, and South America, obviously. Hell, even some parts in North America, in the frontier of what do they call it? The Arctic and all that. A lot of that stuff's hard to get to as well.
Well, maybe as the ice caps melt, we'll be able to find some old fauna that comes out of it.
Maybe we'll finally be able to row our trade boats through there.
Yeah. Oh, you can just press I'll do it later.
I'll do it later. Thanks, Guardian. Yeah. We love you, Guardian.
Yeah, the Guardian, I mean, it does the pop-up, but it doesn't require it.
It doesn't hit you on your knuckles when you don't register for their newsletter.
Yeah, no, it doesn't, it doesn't slap your ass as hard. No.
Also, Feinstein's finally dead.
Yeah. So
she's finally dead. She did what old people do when they're fucking 109. They die. Why are we surprised? No one was surprised. Not a single person
like
in the
Ruth
media.
Bader Ginsburg. It's like we knew it was coming.
Look at this. Look at her. I'm not even going to mix words.
You know, we also made a video about how there's so many things that are younger than her, like fucking trampolines.
Sliced bread.
Yeah, no.
This old crank has been in power. She's on. I think she was on the AI board. I think this bitch was on the AI board.
Like the surveillance board.
On the surveillance. She's on the surveillance board?
I think so.
Hold
Might
on.
have it wrong.
Hold
we
on.
can look up all the boards she's part of, but like
Fuck it.
my
I'm gonna look
only
it up. Feinstein's
gripe with this is that Betty White
committees.
didn't outlive Feinstein. It would have been nice, you know?
Committee assignments. What fucking committees are you on, you fucking old bitch?
And the thing is, remember, if she's part of a committee, she's making all these decisions for who gets to see what or who gets to do what, she had already lost her power of attorney where basically she's like, oh, all of my legal rights, let's give it to my daughter because I am now mentally or physically incapable of doing these things.
She's on the Appropriations Committee, committee assignments, and what is this?
Energy and
She was on the
subcommittee of
Judiciary
Energy and
Committee for a little bit. It doesn't say...
Well, maybe she lost them as she got older, which would be, you know, a good thing because...
Oh, wait. Here they are. Here are the committee assignments. Found them.
Yeah,
Good
Committee of Intelligence.
God.
Yeah, basically surveillance.
Oh.
Appropriations, Subcommittee of Agriculture, Rural Development, Food and Drug
Subcommittee of
Administration, and related
Defense.
agencies, Commerce, Justice, Science and related agencies. Remember, she did not have the power of attorney at this point. Subcommittee on Defense, Energy and Water Development, Chairman. She was a fucking chairman. Okay, Subcommittee on Interior, Environment and related
slip
agencies.
this out over
yeah,
here.
put in the fact that she was 10 years away from like competing with the 1911. All right, she's not okay. Like 15.
I don't know if everybody's going to appreciate that. I appreciate that, though.
Yeah, you know,
I
some
appreciate
people.
that.
It's just like she was fucking old. Okay, she wasn't supposed to. She gave away her legal rights.
This is a fucking
to
joke.
her daughter.
Look, if you can't legally run your own life, you can't legally be running the damn country.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm going ages. If you're 90 years old and one of your eyes is falling out of your fucking head, you need to go home. You're done. Look, one of her eyes is about to fall out of her goddamn head. Hold on. Y'all can't see it. There it is. Look at that shit. That shit about to fucking pop out.
God damn, we to get the Glenn treatment.
God damn it. Like, she shouldn't have been in power for this long. And there's a lot of people who are in power for a long time. And you know what? I hate Mitt Romney's opinions. I hate damn near every one of his opinions. But god damn it, at least he stepped down with some grace. I'll give him that.
Give it to the next generation because... And he's not even mentally, like...
He's not even really that old.
He's on a wheelchair and, like, just...
Shitting himself.
Yeah, no, he's, like, still there, and he's like, well, you know, I guess I'll just go sip Mai Tais and watch the ocean turn. You know, like, he's just going to live the rest of his life in bliss.
Obama basically did the same thing.
Yeah, no, Obama's
all
like...
the presidents.
Yeah, and Obama doesn't even go out and do a lot of, like, political shit for other, like, representatives or senators or even Joe Biden, you know?
He just kicked his feet up. He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, he's like, I did it. I capped out at 50... and I'm going to sail on the ocean, you know, for the rest of my life.
No, Feinstein's like, I will die. You're right. She died in power.
Yeah.
She fucking died in power.
She wants the fucking golden coffin.
She buried in state.
Yeah.
God.
Just
fucking damn. Dude. Oh, God. Oh, God. And you know, that brings us to the next point, is her appointment. I don't know if her appointment was the right choice. If you wanted to pick a woman of color, you had like a million options. One of my favorite would have been Lorena Gonzalez. She would have been great. But you picked her, a woman who lived in Mississippi for a majority of her life. And she just barely started working in California recently. That's nice.
And some people brought up that she has connection to like the Kamala
campaign.
Yeah.
She was an advisor on it,
Yeah, so, and the thing is, it's sort of fucked up because, I know when you look back at the history of like Kamala and Gavin's the one who appointed her, you know, they come from San Francisco, and you want to talk about the tech elites of California. Yeah, San Francisco. Gavin used to be the mayor, Kamala used to be the DA, and it does sort of feel like an in-group within LA. Well, sorry, not in LA.
Like
within
the
San
political
Francisco.
elite.
Yeah, within the political elite.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse because Gavin is sort of like being used as an attack dog for Biden, and maybe they'll be there side by side.
Man. I hate Gavin so much. And also, just a side note, just so we give her her due, she's also now the first black lesbian to openly serve on the Senate.
Yeah. I just wonder if her, voting patterns are good.
She's overall all
Like-
right. The only thing about her, like, she's done a lot of union work. She's anti-gun, which I don't like, but
she's
you know.
probably going to be a lot
that's
better
standard.
than Diane. But
Well, there's one thing that stuck out. So when I was looking through her record, I think it's around here somewhere, but basically she was on a lot of union boards, which was really good. But when she went to California, she ended up advising Amazon on how to deal with the unions.
oh, so she learned the ways of the union just to tell Amazon how to fuck them.
Oh, and Uber as well.
You know, that's really gross. You know,
Yeah.
when you look at like law students, they'll have the belief of joining a corporate law office to then after 5 years go join an anti-corporate law office.
I respect that.
But she did the other route. She joined the anti-corporate and then went to the corporate to
She's
tell
like,
them how
I
to
ain't
fuck
making
them.
enough money.
Dude,
Fuck
that-
these people.
At least there's some justice in being like, I'll learn the ways of evil before I fight for good. But no, she learned the ways of good so she could fight
So
for
I
evil.
can fuck them over even
Yeah,
better.
like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, she's not the greatest. And now she's our senator, and we didn't even get to vote on her because because the
Appointed.
older lady decided to stay in there for
Yeah,
almost
did
a century.
fucking Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You just die in there and you let whoever's in there point who gets to be next.
That's great.
I think
love
it's
it.
usually the last time with Kamala leaving, the person who took her place ended up staying in her place, but I don't think he was that bad.
Look, I guess if there's one improvement we can agree on, she's not like 100 years old.
Yeah.
And the fucked up part is that I'm not even exaggerating. She was damn near 100. So the fact that this woman is what is she 44? Wow, that's comparatively spry. God,
Yeah.
she a spry chicken compared
She's like
to
half the age.
damn.
A little bit younger than half the age.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. This just goes to show, like, you know. I had a cynical thought just now. A way governors can increase their power in the state would be to just keep supporting the incumbents until they die, and then you can just always pick the new one. Yeah, you got to let the people vote on the next one, but now you got an incumbent.
Yeah, and you'll be able to have the institutional support.
So it's like you basically weighted the scale, and it's so gross. I don't think that's what's happening here. I just think that's the consequence of having old ass people running the government. Is that you're gonna have every once in a while a bunch of elections that no one gets to vote on because everybody just fucking dies because they're all from the same generation of people.
Well,
Right.
at least she has a political science degree. You know.
Where though? Where'd she get it from?
Well, Jackson State University. I mean, I don't really know about Jackson State.
Not a real university.
In
Huh?
2001, the year 9/11 happened. Connections? No. Start playing the fucking TikTok music. Be like, she was there. Like, God damn.
Milk toast selection, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Not the worst. We'll watch and see, and we'll throw tomatoes when she earns it. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll throw roses instead of tomatoes. Okay. Amazon anti-union. Today we're going to learn
Why unions are bad?
how to be anti-union.
Yeah. So Amazon made this video to basically bust the balls of the union people.
Oh.
Okay, so here we have found footage from Amazon warehouse of a worker dastardly recording at the threat of his own life.
So we have
An Amazon
Juan.
subscription.
We have Juan, or generic Mexican man,
Yeah.
with
I like how they purposely made it so his beard doesn't connect to his mustache. Like, that's such a specific beard choice for them to use.
I've had that beard before. You know
Yeah.
do that beard?
I mean, I
You
like
ever do
having
the
a
Amish?
mustache. I think most Mexicans or like Latinos will choose to have the mustache, and they're gonna
I prefer
have the beard.
them. I prefer the mustache too, but you never tried it. You never tried the
No,
Amish look.
I never was like, yeah.
You
I
never tried
wanted
the
to get-
Amish look?
No, I don't think I have. No,
Damn. Oh, and I'm freaking. Hold on, I'm ghostly white.
I'm
again.
more likely to go goatee than the Amish. Which
You done
she
goatee
is
before?
Going against.
Wait. Which kind of goatee?
No,
The-
I was just saying that
the
I'm
goatee. Wait. Have you done a goatee like this goatee or this goatee?
Well, no,
Like
okay,
soul patch?
so no, I never did a soul. I'm just saying that I'm more likely to do a goatee than a side beard.
Would you
I
ever
just
do a
feel
soul
so-
patch?
No, soul patch. I think at least for me does. I mean, maybe some people can rock it. I don't know the dude from the Shrek band.
Oh,
I think
he has
had a
it.
soul patch. Yeah, but he died. Rip. Rest
What?
in peace. Yeah, liver failure.
Well, that's
He's
what happens
sort
when
of
you have a
okay.
soul patch. Your liver
Yeah.
fails.
Well, yeah. You burn bright, die young.
Logan's loophole.
Welcome.
This is what you see, like, through the bars of your fucking Amazon prison, like, cage. You know? Like, you think there's sunlight, and you look closer, and all you see is this fucking video through the bars.
It feels like a South Park parody.
Specifically designed to give you the tools that you need for success when it comes to labor organizing. During this course, we'll cover several important topics, such as our position on unions, associate rights, signs of employee disengagement, and how to identify, escalate, and address associate concerns. We are not anti-union, but we are not neutral either. We will boldly defend our direct relationship with associates as best for the associate, the business, and our shareholders. We do not believe unions are in the best interest of our customers, our shareholders, or most importantly...
We're not anti-union, but we don't think unions are good. We're not anti-union, but we think it's bad for everyone here.
We think unions are the worst thing since the Black Plague.
But we're not anti-union. We just think that they're evil. We're not anti-evil. Like,
you see that shit-eating rat on the ground? He probably supports unions.
Like,
you want to be that shit-eating rat?
Like, I guess they did this because it's like the legal limit they can go right before being just straight up.
This feels illegal.
It's like we can't say that we're against it, but
this feels illegal.
It does feel like this is like the legal limit. If this isn't.
This feels illegal as shit.
This should be over the legal limit.
Yeah.
But
it's just like... This is like Amazon telling you, like, you don't need to go to the cops because we love you.
Yeah, we don't think this is our customers, shareholders, associates. But what do they care about most is making money. Like, they don't care about customers.
2 out of 3 of those people can go get fucked.
Yeah.
Or actually, technically 3 out of 4 if they're counting the unions. Yeah, 3 out of 4 of those people can go get fucked.
Yeah.
Associates. Our business model is built upon speed, innovation, and customer obsession. Things that are generally not associated with unions. When we lose sight of those critical focus areas, we jeopardize everyone's job security. We don't badmouth unions in general.
Job security. There's many articles and videos of people who make it like 2-3 year mark, and then they're fired because they don't want to see them have mobility in the company. Mm-hmm. If they're geared toward, you being there for a long time, for you going up, and in the best interest of the worker, then why do they prematurely fire them so then they don't have to pay them more money?
A company doesn't invest in you. A company takes the money you make off your back. That's what it does. It doesn't...
Yeah.
Like, they're not giving you any, like, what are you going to do with the hours and hours and hours of destroyed vast body and lifting boxes? What skills did you got out of that?
Like, they do care about speed when they force their delivery drivers to basically piss in bottles on their way to your house to deliver your one-day shipping.
Oh, don't worry, it's fine. They got AC in the truck now.
And it's just like, because that's what a union would actually like give them a fucking restroom. And shit that Cesar Chavez fought for, that these rights that you had, a couple decades ago.
The rights I deny him.
Yeah, and then
every show.
And they're like, but the union isn't for restrooms. Sorry, the union is for restrooms, and Amazon isn't, and that's why Amazon doesn't support unions.
I am stupidly white. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep thinking about it, but it's... God, fuck.
Look,
being inside is bad. Don't do that.
Can you really be neutral if you don't talk about the good things that, come from the union? Like, that's just a hit piece. If you just do say, like, here's all the negative stuff, well, what about the positives? I mean, maybe we'll see in the rest of the video, but that is a neutrality. That's a hit piece.
I mean, the whole like, the unions are slow to deliberate, that's democracy for you. Democracy can be slow sometimes, but, that's the thing. When unions are fast? When you deny their contracts. When you deny their contracts, suddenly you got 1,000 people standing outside of your plant protesting you and making you look like stupid idiots. Like most of the unions now. And, I mean, the WGA even just won their big victory. Unions work. Look, for everybody who says, like, oh, you gotta pay dues and all that, like, look, they make you pay $40, $50, hell, even $100 in dues. But we looked at the stats. It was like, on average, you make $100 extra in a unionized workplace. So even at the highest end, you're making more money than they're taking. It's fine. You guys are fine. The unions are good.
And maybe for a short bit of time, they'll pay you more because, you're being a scab or you're being anti-union. So, like, we'll pay you some in the short term. But once the unions die and they wither out, then they'll lower your pay because now there's no competition. now they don't have to pay you more to be anti-union because now there's no more union. And then you're fucked because you thought of short-term gains instead of long-term progress.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. That's how it be sometimes. Sometimes, that's the shitty thing is these companies are setting us against each other. Like, that's what's happening when they don't want to take these deals and they're taking on scab workers. Because, like, you have to go to, a lot of the time they go to companies. Like, I remember doing a little bit of work on it. We never did an article, but there are companies that are fully intended for scab work just to,
send them in.
Send them in, yeah. And these companies choose to deal with them. They don't have to deal with them. They could deal with the unions and be straight and deal with them correctly, but they don't. So, if you want to talk about slow, look at the AMTP. They were willing to drag out negotiations for, 150 days? Talk about slow. They cost the city of LA $2 billion because they wanted to be greedy.
And now Kaiser's basically forcing the union's hand, or forcing the workers' hand, in doing strikes because they don't want to pay more. I mean, they'll do cost-cutting measures like throwing away bodily parts into regular dumpsters.
Oh, yeah.
They care about speed and that they'll try to make money faster.
But as we've seen, sometimes greed doesn't equal speed.
Yeah.
Sometimes greed equals a fucking 150-day long strike.
They'll force you to keep going on until it all just comes to a sudden halt.
Yeah. So, don't believe the lies, but let's continue. That should be obvious.
Yeah.
We will speak openly with associates about unions, including any specific concerns about particular unions involved in organizing. And we share our preference for a direct working relationship frequently and boldly, even when...
Just understand that in that relationship, you have no fucking power. You have as much power as the market gives you. And for like 80% of all of us out there, that's nothing. Unless you're someone with a degree, and even then, it might not even be that well paid. So, just keep that in mind. The power of one very, very rarely is enough.
No organizing activity has occurred. You will learn about the warning signs most commonly associated with early union organizing, as well as other warning signs that could indicate associate disengagement, vulnerability to organizing, or early organizing activity. While employees have the right to organize, we have a right and responsibility to share our position that a direct working relationship is better for the customer, the company, and the associate. In order to be able to do that effectively, it is critical that we recognize the early warning signs of potential organizing and escalate concerns promptly. If you see warning signs of potential organizing, notify your building HRM.
It's like the Red Scare. It's the Red Scare, but in Amazon. It's like, we're not anti-communism. We just think that at the earlier signs of you noticing it within your home, workplace, or religious group, you should just go and report them to your nearest manager, and we'll have them taken away. What are you going to do to the people who are reported on?
Keep on the lookout for communists coming near you.
If you're not anti-union, then what are you going to do to the people that are organizing it, right? Why would you need to be on the lookout for them? You're creating this state of fear.
It is.
Yeah, and then once you report them to your local Amazon manager, they're going to just find bullshit reasons to fire them because they don't want a union.
What are they going to give the guy who rats them out? A sticker, a paycheck, a day off?
Yeah.
Man, just scummy. Like I said.
No, pizza party.
Oh.
You get free Amazon pizza. Not even fucking DiGiorno. All right, you get like Amazon Basics pepperoni pie.
You don't even get to pick where the pizza comes from. It has to be Amazon.
Yeah, it's like some amalgamation pizza. That reminds me.
I'm a trashy bitch. I'm totally fine with getting Little Caesars. Yeah. But, like, could you imagine being forced to eat the Amazon Basics pizza? Yeah. Or the... Actually, no. Could you imagine being forced to eat the 7-Eleven pizza?
If you're an Uber driver, you can get a free 7-Eleven pizza.
Can you?
Yeah. It's
wow.
Uber benefit.
Wow.
Although apparently it's very hard to do. Like, it's very anti-user-friendly to go through the UI and get it. Which, surprise, surprise, right? They made it so then it's very hard for you to get your fucking worker benefits. Oh, Uber would never do such a... Yeah, no, it's bullshit.
I mean, the more common one for a lot of people, like when at my job, like at my last two jobs, you either eat where you work or you don't eat because everything else is far away, or you eat McDonald's. That was the option. It was like at my last job, it's like you eat the stuff that's on campus because it was a campus job. It was basically gas station food, or you It was Jack in the Box, and you eat Jack in the Box. Or you eat the McDonald's that's next to the Jack in the Box. Because fuck God, why they always come in 2s or 3s. Or they're a pack every time. There's always like 4 fast food places. There's never one, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, that was your option. So, like, yeah, no, I got you. And it's like, oh, we give you money, we give you time for food. Like, what, like 30 minutes to go what? To go like 10 miles down the street? I mean, maybe. That was back when I had no fucking car. That shit sucked ass, dude. Make buses good. Also, put other places besides fast food. God damn.
Well, you know, some colleges, universities, they'll just, like, I don't know if I'm doxing myself by saying UCLA.
That's on
There
you.
was
I'm already graduated. I don't give a fuck.
There was
talking about my
staffing
school.
shortages, right? And they made it so then basically in the UCLA cafeterias, only now, like, dorm students can get it. Not even, like, university department or regular students, but just dorm students can get it because there was not many people hiring or
We're just
applying.
bitching about our lives
I know.
right now,
I think
dude.
it's because at first they would pay them basically the smallest amount of any UCLA worker, but now they up their paid $18, which is still pretty low for the neighborhood UCLA's in.
Oh,
right?
you want to hear a crazy
But
story?
now they also said they'll give you 2 free meal swipes,
Holy shit.
which is pretty base. You get 2 free meals.
You want to hear something crazy though?
Yeah.
I talked when I was covering the. I don't know if anybody was watching this or if anybody knows after the fact. They had a big ass protest at the.
Still pretty low for the neighborhood UCLA.
Fuck.
Oh,
Echo. The CSU, the CSU headquarters. I talked to some people from San Diego. They get paid under the minimum wage.
And they work for what?
San Diego's CSU. Whatever it is, CSU.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like $13.
And you wonder why they end up being fucking socialist and communist and anti-capitalist.
I think it was like $13.
Yeah.
Allegedly $13, and I think the minimum wage for the city was like 16.
Yeah.
15 or something. Like I know the statewide is 15.50, but they're being paid like 13, which is fuck, bro. Couldn't be me. No,
But
I love them.
you
They're
get
my brothers.
you get a free chicken wing at
Bro.
the end of your day. You know, you get like a free scraps of whatever was left over that we're gonna throw away in the fucking trash anyways.
They're my brothers, but could not be me. Could not fucking be me. I would, dude. I'd rather forklift drive. Fuck that. Oh Jesus! I didn't even know that was possible or legal. Maybe they live on campus. I should have asked them that when I was talking to them.
Maybe it's like part of their deal.
Yeah, maybe to get some of it taken out.
Well,
I don't
you
want to
give us indentured
justify.
servitude, and you get a home to live in.
Yeah,
Like, you know?
I'm not justifying. That's their fucking.
Yeah.
That's their fucking job. They justify their fucking evils.
So we probably watch the rest of the video. We're only like halfway.
God, they're so evil.
I know it is. It's like it connects to so many things.
God, man. Okay. We'll try.
HRMs and GM site leaders should notify their assigned ER managers or ER principal immediately. The most obvious signs would include use of words associated with unions or union-led movements like living wage or steward, petitions or other concerted activity.
Yeah, a key words to look out for: living wage. What the fuck? It's just
we zoned out for a moment.
Yeah, we went off for a moment. It's like, well, look out for these key fucking words to highlight here. Xi Jinping, Communist Party, to
to the nearest commissar near you. Just tell him about the mention of a living wage so he can pop you and your 3 friends out back behind the shed.
Dude.
What the This reminds me of that shit with the Munger Hall thing. Remember the dystopia where they would
There's too many dystopias happening at once. It's so many like just random pieces of shit that you just gotta see.
It's just like a fucking worst thought. In Munger Hall, in the Amazon house, or I think it was the Twitter house or the Amazon house, what are they just playing Amazon propaganda on the TVs?
They probably are. It's like eating at a fucking McDonald's. You have like McDonald's TV, but now it's just Amazon TV. That's like, if you hear somebody saying living wage, report them to your nearest manager.
No. If you hear someone say living wage, just beat them to death on the spot.
Yeah. just pull out your Amazon Basics baton and aim for the joints. Yeah. The easiest.
They can't organize if they can't march.
Yeah. Yeah. Or we can sell them Amazon wheelchairs, They're the cheapest ones on the market. Yeah.
Speak on behalf of his or her coworkers when raising concerns. Union graffiti, union t-shirts, hats, jackets, or other clothing, union flyers, and union visitors in or near the parking lot.
You know that union man? You tell us about that union man. We'll handle him for you.
So, tell me again how you're not anti-union and that you're totally neutral. Right? Yeah, totally. Just report them because they're doing so good. Yeah, they're doing so great. We love them. Yeah.
So, like, there's a room, and they call it the kill box, Amazon kill box. It's where allegedly, it's where they take all the union and like dissidents, and they line them up, and they all pop them one at a time. But before they do, they look up, and there's a TV, and this video's playing.
Some signs are less obvious than finding the actual union flyer, but they can still indicate associate disengagement, which is itself a warning sign for potential organizing. Examples include
Associate disengagement's a very interesting term. It's kind of whitewashy. It's no, not even kind of. It is. It's whitewashy. Associate disengagement. No, it's not. So just know one thing. When you organize with the union, you are highly engaged. You are talking to your fellow workers. You are making a community. You're making friends. And you're getting a better pay to count all that off. To top all those good things off.
Yeah, you actually have to sign up and, like, push for a union. You don't have to sign up and push for your employer to basically spoon feed you dog shit, right? Like, you know, when you sign up for a union, you have to go through an election process that many Amazon union warehouses have been trying to do.
And a lot of them have lost.
Extreme engagement, and that's what they're afraid of.
Yeah, don't let this, yeah, like, if you're coming to work every day and you work and you do your job, nothing wrong with that. But just know that when you clock out and that's all you do, you are not engaged. You are there to pick up the paycheck, which I ain't hate you, brother. We all do it. We all do that.
You do it to make, you know, your rent. You do it to make your PS5 payment. You know, because you bought it with fucking, like, one of those credit companies that pop up at the end of the website page because you're like, fuck, I don't make enough money at this job because I don't have a fucking union. Like, you know, so you had to buy
with that stupid Aspire shit on Amazon that they try to sell you the fucking 40% APR.
Yeah, and it's like, well, you know, your job
24 months of payments.
Yeah.
You realize that's a total scam. 24 months of... Dude, inflation went up like 8 times by that point.
Like, you know, Amazon's making money twice from not paying you. One, from not paying you. Second, for, you know, offering you credit. You know?
Oh, yeah.
It's just they're trying to lean back into, you know, company money.
You know, on a side note, have you ever been to the... have you gone to the Amazon grocery store yet?
No, I've been to Amazon Fresh, yeah.
Is it like... Are the products any good? I know we were talking mad shit about them, but I'm
like, well,
curious.
wait, hold. Maybe they have a point. You know, maybe there's a point. Well, maybe Amazon...
I hate talking to people, so, like, if they got rid of that...
I'll say this. I mean, if you want scan and go, you can do that at, like, a Walmart or Sam's Club.
Yeah, but there's I don't want the option. I don't want the social pressure of having to have the option.
I know there's a few that are, like, truly no person working there, but I've never been to one of those.
Oh, okay.
I've only been to, like, just they're basically like Avon's replastered. You know,
I am so goddamn white. It is bugging me, man.
Gotta go out to the sun. It's a choice, all right?
Dude, I've been out, like, I know I was making jokes about that, but I went out 2 days in a row. I went to the gym, like, 3 days.
You go to the Trump route. Let's get a spray tan.
Fuck.
You know?
No. Whatever.
Aren't connected to each other, suddenly hanging out together. Associates who were close.
Yeah, because that's not disengagement, right? Just hanging out with each other.
Holy shit! You literally what we just. Oh my god! Literally what we just said. Yeah, no, this is psychotic.
Groups of associates scatter when approached by management. Increased associate negativity, anger, or confrontation. Unusual
groups of employment or groups of employees that scatter when management comes. Doesn't that just, like, always happen if you're just, like, talking the shit while fucking taking down a truck, and then management comes and you're like, oh, and you have to, like, basically stop talking about just, you know, the random stuff of the day.
Probably your boss.
Yeah, you know, well, you're probably talking shit about your boss. You know.
No, never.
Yeah, because I remember working at Walmart. Never. And, like, you know, the manager's like, why are you guys taking so long? It's the middle of summer, there's no AC, and the fan's broken. You're just there in a metal box, like, you know, just there, and there's no water. You know, and they're like, oh, well, here's some water, but, like, it's in a cooler with no ice. Because, like, they want to give you they want to have the picture of this being cold, nice water. But this is, like, your 4th week in, and they finally gave you water. You know, so it's like, you already had 4 weeks of you just burning, melting in a metal box.
Die.
Yeah.
Die for the Amazon packages. Just know that it's his sweat and blood and tears that go into every delivery. This man right here, see poor Juan? He doesn't get to see his children, so you get to have your PS5 on time.
I like how it says conversations with managers dry up, but what regular workers really like having one-on-one conversations with their managers?
Oh my god!
basic
All right,
stuff.
I'll talk shit about my job now. I actually did try to talk. God, I know the person too.
Ooh.
I don't care. It's fine. I don't talk to them personally, dude. I tried talking to them. I tried talking to my managers from time to time because some of them used to be like associates before managers. So like they were like us at some point. And the moment they become manager, they just change. They do not talk to you.
Yeah.
And the manager's been there for a long time, or they hire managers from outside.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the new people were just awful, dude.
When I worked at Walmart, it was because there's like different levels of manager, right? There's like basically the one right above worker, and they were like, it felt odd. It's like they knew they had to be this way around the worker. Like we were all wondering, like, why does the person just keep on yelling, and like they know our position. And then during like lunch break, we're in the same lunch break group, and we asked like, well, I was confused. My workers knew. It's like, no, they just have to do this. And we asked her, and she was like, oh no, well, I understand you guys can't do it, but like, I just have to yell at you, like. And I felt weird. She's like, basically like,
psychotic.
But like, she's like, I understand you guys can't, but like, I have to do it. I think she was sort of like basically saying like, I won't fire you, but like, you have to keep up the picture, you have to keep up the image to the general manager, like the main manager of the store that you're pushing them.
Just yell at him when he's in town.
No, it was always in the store.
Oh,
basically the head, like in Walmart, there's like a head manager. There is like an overhead one that watches other ones, but
we had a regional manager for ours.
Yeah,
like I worked at 2 jobs ago. It was Jack in the Box. They had a regional manager. Remember?
Yeah, but the guy for us that's under regional manager was like still like a bulldog.
Yeah,
was still like an attack dog.
Gotcha. Man, just trauma dumping on jobs.
Yeah.
Change in passion or detail.
We worked very young.
Yeah.
Around complaints, unusual interest in policies, benefits, employee lists, or other company information, or any other associate behavior that is out of character. For example, an associate who normally leaves promptly begins hanging out in the break room for an hour after work each day. In order to recognize warning signs, it is critical that you know what an associate...
So wait. So if the guy hangs out there too long, that's too bad. And if he leaves too quickly, wait, what?
Well, you see,
I'm stupid. Give me one.
They basically want to make it so that anything you do is suspicious.
Got it. Let's
hanging out in the break room for an hour after work each day. In order to recognize associate behavior that is out of character. For example, an associate who normally leaves promptly begins for an hour after work each day.
Okay.
In order to
no, I didn't hear that first.
Warning signs.
Dude, so like they're actively telling you to disengage.
Yeah, they're also actively telling you to just report on possible union people.
We're not anti-union, but we're not neutral either.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Warning signs of unionization. Wanting a living wage, having a grievance, when you stop being friends with somebody, when you make new friends, avoiding the boss, hanging out with coworkers, standing up for your coworkers, having a bad day. Just don't be sad.
Yeah.
You silly fools.
Well, they just want to make it so that anything you do is a fireable or a suspicious offense, So then basically whatever you're doing, they have the ability to fire you. And that's the thing, even before all this union talk, they would just fire people for being there for 3 years because they didn't want them to go up the company ladder.
Oh, yeah, that sucks. And usually those people become like, if they're decent and not shitty people, they usually, in ways, become leaders unto themselves.
Yeah.
If they've been there long enough. Usually they know everybody. They've seen everybody come in and out. So,
yeah.
Those people are primed. They did, yeah.
It is critical that you know what an associate's normal behavior looks like. Often,
watch your co-workers, but don't be friends with them.
It is the change in behavior that is the warning sign.
Monitor your co-workers. Amazon, you're evil. Lower your prices for Prime. Also, stop, I don't know. See, the problem is that the shitty part about this is that I literally the other day watched a video about the new vans they have, the new EV vans, and I actually think that's a really positive thing. The fact that they're trying to make green the entire fleet.
They were going to try to do something with Rivian, right? But then Rivian was too slow.
No, I think Rivian actually got some orders done. Yeah, a few.
Oh.
I don't know if they got them all done, but they got a few But again, that's a part of what's. I mean, we were talking about it before the show, like EVs and the expenses of them, and it's like I think the big thing is that they're not cheap for the mass market. Like a truly useful EV, like you can get a car like a heap. Like we can go to a junkyard essentially, and get a car that can go 500, 400 miles on a single tank of gas.
Yeah.
Not a single EV under like 50K can do that.
Well, they have them in China, but import fees, and America has laws against them because they're not built in the U.S. So yeah.
So it's good that there's investment, but it's just I don't know. Does it have to be done? Can that not be done while also not being totally evil?
Yeah.
Is it being evil to? I mean, you probably paid your CEO's bonuses. I mean, wait, isn't Jeff Bezos one of the richest bastards on this planet?
Yeah, one of them.
Surely he can skip a meal. I'm surely he wouldn't even really be skipping a meal.
No.
All right.
God forbid.
God
forbid.
God fucking forbid, right? So, anyway, that was, I didn't realize we'd got so much mileage out of it.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of mileage.
Jesus.
It's already about to be 4.
Alright, you want to end it on Hassan then? On some petty YouTube drama?
Yeah.
I love it. I love ending petty. Hassan versus Chang. You gotta prelude this. This is your job now.
So fast.
I get...
So I took a screenshot so when it just... Where Jank basically starts saying, yeah, like, this is my...
I get to chill. Now I get to just kick my feet up and just do whatever I do.
Yeah, put it like 30 seconds... Or sorry, not 30 seconds. 30
I'm
minutes.
waiting for this stupid ad. 30 minutes?
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, it starts going into the... Yeah, basically when...
Oh.
The thing that the left has been angry over TYT for.
Man, Chank is kind of zesty.
Zesty?
Isn't that? Look at the. Oh, you can't see it. Look at them lip purse.
Oh.
Kind of zesty there. Kind of. What was it with the nails?
Yeah, no, he's zesty.
Yeah,
He's zesty with it.
A little zesty with it. I see you, Jenk.
Oh, you need to put the.
I don't hate you, Jenk.
Movement, honestly, and this is where you and I can begin to disagree. Getting too radical and too away from what most Americans want. And the second iceberg.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So look, we saying things like all sports leagues, including professional ones, has to allow trans women. They don't have a choice, etc. That pulls it like 2%. You say, hey, it's a moral issue. It's really important.
Do you think
sports leagues are like the most important thing in the whole wide world?
Do you think it's actually a significant issue? Do you think that is a significant issue or a driver of the conversation, or cynically weaponized by Republicans with like some liberals taking the bait and then having a conversation about it instead of being like, fuck off? Nobody cares about
Wait.
talking about this immediately.
It was muted.
Sorry. So, and this is a thing you'll see through the video where basically Hassan's like, well, this isn't really a big ticket issue for liberals or progressives, but Jank still decides to harp on it and go on the offensive on it, despite it being a relatively small thing for people that are actually, protesting in action in real life. If you look at Twitter, and where Twitter purposely puts the people in the algorithm that are, crazy radicals or things that basically only like 1% of people actually believe in, yeah, you'll see a lot of them because they're the ones that are the most inflammatory. But I think Cenk is skipping the beat on that. I don't think he totally understands that when you look at online media, those are the things that are going to get brought up to you because they're the ones that get the most inflammatory response. They are.
Look, I don't have a solution for the highest of high-end sports, because that's a completely different ballgame and I'm not even that familiar with. But staying within my lane, I heard a good idea. I forget the basketball player, but he brought a good point that, if you bring girls up playing against boys from a young age, from like middle school, then they're going to play pretty good against boys. If you take girls who've been playing against girls and put them against boys, they're not going to do as well. So the takeaway I had from that is, I don't remember the basketball player, but I'm pretty sure someone might know if they see this. My takeaway is co-ed. I mean, why not we try out co-ed sports? Because that kind of throws the whole trans issue to the side.
Yeah.
Because if I'm being honest with you, I don't got any other solutions beyond that. I knew some girls growing up who wanted to play sports with the guys because, let's be real, the guys' league is more people care about the guys' league. Well, like being in the girls' league for a lot of girls feels like being in the bullshit league. Let's be honest, you know. Like, I'm not saying that's what it is, but that's what a lot of people see it as, and it's, you know. So why not try co-ed sports? I mean, it throws the issue out altogether. And a lot of people do support co-ed sports. A lot of people are cool with co-ed sports, and you see it all the time. The girls trying to compete with the guys, and yeah, sometimes guys will do the, you know, cheerleading stuff with the girls. It happens. There's places where it can happen. Why not? I mean, if they're willing to do it. But, you know, let's see what they say. Because, like, I think, sorry, one last point. I don't think it's it being a trans issue. I think it's the way you package and sell it. Yeah.
And I don't even think Drake necessarily disagrees with the issue, but basically how it's being perceived and like and people's reactions online.
But that goes into what I was saying. Like, I think you're kind of coming at it from the wrong angle. Yeah. You shouldn't be trying to do it. Like, if you think it's a trans, like, you think trans issues aren't going to sell it, then why not just sell it under the co-ed sports? Because then, yeah, it gets rid of the problem. It doesn't matter what gender you are. So.
Immediately.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what the right wing does. They weaponize every single issue. What I'm trying to get progressives to do is stop falling in the trap. So the minute they say it, our side comes out and goes, no, this is the most important issue. And anyone who disagrees is a Nazi. You just called 98% of the country Nazis.
Okay.
What are you doing? You're alienating voters like crazy.
Do you think that organizers on the ground, both trans and cis, that are or members of labor unions are even using this as a talking point in any meaningful capacity? Or is it simply reactionary Republicans bringing this up because they tried and unsuccessfully failed to push the anti-trans button with bathroom bills?
Except for the fact that they passed all those bills, which I despise. I hate those bills.
Let me just clarify something here. In the lead up to the 2016 election, you had the North Carolina bathroom bill that was anti-trans, right? You have to have the gender assigned at birth be the bathroom that you go to.
That totally failed.
Okay,
That's right.
That failed. That was so objectively a failure that Donald.
Oh yeah, you had the kid inspector shit.
I think
Wasn't that also in Florida too?
Well, they're doing the inspector in some states where they're like, okay, in order to make sure. Well, no, talk about hiring a pedophile. I know, right? They're like, oh yeah, Republicans, they're not pedophiles, even though they'll hire somebody to check kids' private parts because they suspect they might be a boy or a girl in the opposite side of the sports, right?
The professional diddler.
Yeah, I know. It's like, well, they'll just hire somebody to just look at your kids, and that's really fucked up.
That he did is, that is very fucked up.
Trump came out and said, I don't give a fuck where Caitlyn Jenner shits as long as she's shitting in Trump Tower, right? Something along those lines.
But
I'm
then
paraphrasing.
He tried to ban them from the military.
Hold on. Let me finish.
That was also unpopular. Sorry, go ahead.
Let me finish. Okay? Yeah, he tried to ban him.
Shank's big heart.
Also unpopular.
Yeah.
So, what did Republican interest groups do? The family, moral family, Christianity fundamentalist groups. What did they do? They went back to the drawing board and they looked for a reasonable sidestep that would still be anti-trans, that would open the door to anti-trans conversations that they could push for that was more popular. What did they find? They found that Americans love the concept that is bullshit, meritocracy. What is the most meritocratic process in the entire country, maybe in the world? Sports. Americans love sports, and Americans believe that meritocracy is real, and it's especially real in sports. So they changed the narrative away from trans people can't pee and poo in the fucking bathrooms to trans people want to destroy sports. It was simply just another way to attack trans people, which is precisely why I think a lot of people correctly looked at that and went, why the fuck are we talking about this? This is...
Please.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's another just fucking 20-minute chunk.
This is Jake running for president.
Is he? Is that a joke?
You want to find out?
All right.
Because I think there's about a 90%.
I mean, Hassan would say probably everything I would say if I knew to say it.
Yeah.
If I'm being quite frank. The only thing I would be interested in is maybe defund the police. But it's also getting disgusting in here. So we can save that for the next one. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Chance that Joe Biden's going to lose. Point one.
Was he president? Beginning?
Democrats in DC.
Huh? Well, at least probably maybe in the beginning he says he's going to run for president.
Is there anything else we want to talk about? I'm sorry.
Oh, boy.
We spoke for 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Brother, you're going to ask me if I'm running for president.
Oh, yeah. You're running for president. So what's going on? What's your goal here? Why are you...
Oh, he really is.
But why?
First of all, it's not official. I've got to get a staff together. When it's 100% for sure, obviously I'll let you guys know it's 100%. But the reason why I am very seriously considering it, leaning in that direction, is because I think there's about a 90% chance that Joe Biden's going to lose. Point one.
You know, I'll just say this.
Is it already too late to like sign up for ballots in certain states? Like, isn't it too late in the process to like sign up to, be voted for in many of the states, especially like in the beginning, like the first states like New Hampshire? Like,
yeah, not if you go third party, it ain't.
Oh yeah, well, but then again, also you'd have to create a bunch of polls, right, to show.
Not if you go third party. You all run your own poll.
Like, I guess technically you can show up like at the bottom of the list, but like, why would you do like? Look, I can understand if you did this from the get go, like 6 months ago, and you're like, okay, I'm going to like go on the offensive like a Cornel West situation.
Yeah,
but,
I'm just gonna go with the.
But you're not even like going on like a Democratic debate stage. You're just you're just gonna like just take votes.
God, we gotta watch the
just
Newsom,
because
we gotta watch the Newsom and DeSantis debate when that happens.
Didn't RFK and Marianne Williamson have a debate?
But I don't care.
But the thing is, like, if you really cared about bringing in stuff to the conversation, that's why you're doing this. Wouldn't you have wanted to like been part of that debate? Wouldn't that be your big point? Why are you jumping in where the only thing you can really do is just take away votes? Like you jumped in too late, right?
Legacy?
Maybe, or maybe you're just trying to hurt the bear, trying to just poke it.
I mean, we've talked about this once or twice. Like, just being a candidate for president, something you can put on a book. So,
yeah.
I honestly think it's that simple for a lot of people. Some people speculate that about Marianne Williamson. So,
yeah, and you can also argue that why are you going to take people's money if you? I mean, look,
if you know
Jake
you're gonna
isn't.
lose.
Yeah, if you like,
you're trying to push a message, or I mean, if you want me to be charitable, it's because you're trying to push an issue through politics. And in the case of Andrew Yang, in the most charitable case, she did push for UBI to become a part of the conversation. Yeah. And a lot of cities are now experimenting.
Do you think Django's going to end up with like even 10%?
What would be? I mean, no. But Andrew didn't. I don't think he even had 10%.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be 10% to get your issue across. Is my point. But what would be his issue?
He has the wolf pack, which would be to get money out of politics, but I don't think he's going to get any ground on that from Biden.
I don't think he's going to get any on that.
Maybe union stuff, but like Biden's already been good on union.
Medicare for all, maybe? I don't think hit and miss on unions.
Well, Biden's already done the negotiation for like 10 different types of, 10 different medications to different drugs.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I don't know how farther he's going to be able to push him.
The Medicare for all would definitely be a second term action.
Yeah.
Like I'm a close out.
So that's why I sort of feel like he's only doing this just to hurt their electoral chances. Like, oh yeah, he only has a 99% chance of winning, so that's why I'm going to make it 99.9999%. It's like
maybe he's just talking off the cuff. I mean, if it's really too late, then he can't really do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
It could just be like that's the shitty thing about a podcast is like, sometimes you just say shit and it's not like shit you can really commit to because it doesn't even sound like he's all that committed here.
Yeah, no, it's just.
Sorry.
Unlike
no, it's okay.
Democrats in D.C., I actually think
sometimes I hold the mouse button.
I actually think Trump is a fascist, and I think that the country's going to have a very tough time recovering if Trump wins the election again. But the Democrats say yes. Well, on the other hand, we have to bow down to authority, and Joe Biden is the authority figure, so we must all obey him. If it means we lose our democracy, well, at least we weren't impolite to Joe Biden and Democratic leaders.
So I agree with you. I think that Democrats...
It just feels like he's totally miscategorizing what people are saying, It's like, oh, he's the authorities with the bow down to him. Like, no, it's because if the two piles of shit, one of them will do horrific things to certain groups of people and the other one won't.
Yeah, but we got to admit that, and I think what they're saying is that's how Biden treated his entire campaign. That's not a good direction.
Yeah, like the fact that he wouldn't talk to
do debates.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't need the debate. It's like, king, who anointed you fucking king? That's the only problem. It's like, I agree with you, but I do feel them on a level because it's like, I value that process. You know what I mean?
I value it too. However, it's not like you're going to get that through the Republican side. I mean, Trump literally just doesn't show up to the debates and he's still winning.
No, I agree with you. I guess some people would say, like, I don't know, channeling the inner Vosh, you would probably say if the process can't get that outcome, then it's not a very good process. Yeah. So maybe that would be the takeaway here. But again, it just doesn't seem like a good road to go down to just be that comfortable throwing away democracy, just throwing it out the board.
And there was stuff that Biden, like the administration did, where they're going to change like the starting states that vote, so then Biden will have a good start. And basically show that, oh look, like instead of in the traditional 10 states, we're going to do a neo-Bidenism 10 states. So then it makes it look like he's going to perform better than he really would have originally. But then again, like your alternative is a Republican. Your
alternative is someone who's going to actively restrict the voting process as much as possible.
Yeah.
So
who won't say that, January 6th is bad or that President Trump, basically didn't win. You're going to bring in a group of people who are just going to further destroy democracy and at a much stronger, rapid pace.
Yeah. So the takeaway is that you resist where your resistance would be most useful. And hate to say it, but it's still with the Democrats.
Yeah, and
but the boat's sinking. Yeah, that's the one thing that we got to acknowledge is that the boat's sinking. If we continue down this road,
but it's like you're telling me to jump off the sinking boat because there might be a rowboat at the end, but there's not because the ship said no rowboats. The ship said we're going to basically make it impossible for there to be rowboats.
But you do realize though, that this is a death march, right? Like even if we do go your route, that we're okay with this. This can become a cycle.
Yeah, the third party is a faster death march.
No, I'm not. No.
Oh no! I understand that it's
follow your
yeah. No, it's there's 3 different death marches, and the slowest path to death is the Democratic Party.
Do you think it makes a difference?
Do I think it makes a difference? I mean, I guess you'll just get climate change a lot slower than you would voting Republican or third party because third party would just hand it to the Republicans, and Republicans would make it worse faster.
Well, when I'm saying that the fall of democracy is happening, though, and as we watch it fall, as people are getting cut out of the process, it's more or less about how both parties are engaging in that process, and that even if we are okay with one party doing it because we agree with that party more, we're going to still lose democracy even with them in power doing this route.
Yeah,
that is my concern because we don't have a route that maintains democracy.
Yeah, but then again, third party doesn't. I would argue third party would make it worse.
I understand that, but there is no route for democracy.
I agree. That basically,
that's the biggest concern.
Each route is leading toward democracy ending, but just one of them is the slowest route. And I'd argue that there's a chance that if you go full Democrat, that you'll get Democrats like AOC. Or I know there was this one white lady that was really good in California, and you'll get some that are really good that actually have say in government. Because you can vote third party or independent with Cornel West, but he's not going to have a sizable say in government. And that's the problem, the third party myth where you're okay, we'll vote in a third party person, but the system has made it so then they'll never really have political say in the federal level. And I'd like to believe that they would be able to go in there, but the system is literally made so then they won't. They have a worse chance at making a political difference in the federal government than somebody like AOC.
I understand, but that highlights more or less to me that I think it's slowly becoming. I'm wondering if it's slowly becoming the main issue that maybe voting reform needs to be one of the biggest issues.
Yeah, you can go the Kyle Kulinski route where you're okay, let's just do voter voting. Basically each voter gets to say some things on some bills.
Ranked choice. Oh, there's that. And there's ranked choice voting.
There's ranked choice.
Because I don't fully agree with you. I actually think on the state level and under, I think you should go third party.
Well, yeah, on the state level. That's what I was saying, federal.
Yeah, anything below that, you should go full on. Because that's how the Democrats even have their power base.
Yeah. I would say if you're in a situation like Georgia where it's basically the only two left are Democratic and Republican, then you should go Democrat. But when you're talking about the primary where it's early on, then you should go full throttle third party. But if you're already past that point and you're within the last 3 months, then you're pretty much dead set on either blue or red.
I will say do it if they feel like if they earned your vote. You don't owe them anything.
Well, I mean, the Republican made me want to vote against them.
Well, that's if a lot of people don't feel satisfied with the Democrat option.
It's true.
So that's why I wouldn't recommend
but a lot of people,
if you want to disdain, then that's their choice.
So because, a lot of people are pissed off enough by Republicans to just vote against. Like, they basically earned a vote against themselves. You're right. As a Republican talking to like a liberal progressive person, it's like, oh, well, they're going to do stuff like cut child lunch funding. No, that's enough to get people to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to vote against you.
My only problem is that a lot of the parties right now controlled by oligarchs. We have AOC and Bernie, a few good people in there, but they're the minority. The majority of these people are donor class people. Yeah. And if we lose democracy, even with the Democrats in power, they're not going to look out for us. Shit's going to get worse, too. Yeah, we can have more say with them. Maybe they'll do some good things. But it's like the scab. It's like the scab story, right? It's a short-term gain for long-term loss.
For
democracy. Well, we're winning these short-term policy gains, but when the Democrats get their full power, they can. What if they just gatekeep progressives like AOC out?
Yeah, it's true, but
they just run them out of town.
What would be the equivalent for a third party if they're just literally nothing?
No, I understand that, but the Democrats aren't giving options either, and that's something that if the people are going to play ball with the Democrats, they need to, I think, make that a larger point. Which is
I don't know. I would see the third party being almost like, I would almost say that the Democrat Party is more like the union option, and then third party is those who say, well, we should just do a national, worker strike, and it's just sort of like this pie in the sky thing where it feels like
a general strike.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, that would be great, and I'd love you for the idea, but it's not feasible for our current state.
Union is probably, I will say this, I think union is the closest that you have to a third party. It's like, what, like 20-30%
yeah, but
of
still,
Americans
a lot of them go for Democrats.
A lot of them do, yeah. I think that's an interesting point, though, in terms of that kind of power, because that might actually be the one place where it could happen. But
if you're like on the local level, that can sway things and put a third party in there, and that does happen. Like there's some.
I don't Bernie care Sanders if it's a third party right now. If I'm being honest with you, I just care if there's someone willing to do voting reform, because at this point, it doesn't matter. I don't want there to be a good Democrat. Yeah. I don't like the idea of a good Democrat or a good Republican, because that's how we got here. We need to have a system that's good at voting in people and that actually cares and listens to us, because it doesn't really listen to us. Now, I know I'm saying the most fucking boilerplate shit in the world, but it's just, I just don't want us to forget the obvious, because that's my only thing. It's like, the Democrats are not a democratic option. They are eroding it, but, we fully acknowledge they're eroding it. It's concerning, because I care about the process.
Yeah.
And there are processes that are better than the one we have. That's the fucked up part, is that we have innovations we could easily call upon, and we don't. Yeah. So, man,
but
what a fucking note to end on.
Yeah.
Is Cenk going to run third party? Let's answer that.
Yeah.
As the most important election of our lifetimes, and in some respects it is true. However, I do think that if that was the case, then the Democratic Party, or if they actually believed it, they wouldn't put up Joe Biden. They would not have put up Joe Biden last time around, especially when the
What do you think about that? The fact that Biden didn't pick himself. The org picked Biden.
Yeah, I mean that was
the cabal.
Even when you look at during the election, it didn't seem like Biden really wanted to run. It just seemed more like it was picked for him by the establishment. And don't get me wrong, the DNC is a top-down org. That's why Debbie Wasserman and Schultz basically decided, oh yeah, we're going to choose Hillary as our main guy, despite Bernie having a lot of grassroots support and being obviously the better option. Mm-hmm. There's still a lot of top-down functions.
Oh well, here's a picture of the Democrats.
But then again, I'd say that's also that's the very reason why a third party wouldn't be able to win. Because imagine you have the top-down force from Democrats and Republicans, both leaders, both cabals.
Actual pictures of Democrats.
So imagine, basically on the left, there's the Democrat donkey, right is the Republican elf, in the middle is Jeff Bezos, and in the middle right here is basically Cornel West, and they all just smack him down. Because at the end of the day, all of them would prefer either a Democrat or Republican in office than a third party like Cornel West. And that's why you're more likely to get a Democrat to have a say, because an independent just wouldn't be brought to the table. Like, they just wouldn't have in the local level. You're talking about like, oh yeah, like
the local
in
level
your district or in your state
room.
Yeah, in the state level, like you can't get them to go in there because they're not as meticulous. They don't have a strong.
To be fair
hold.
with you too, to just add to the point, I mean, Sanders, most of his career was an independent.
Yeah, that's what I said a bit before. Yeah, he's technically an independent.
Yeah, so
but then again, to run as a president, he knew to go Democrat.
Well, I think the point is that a lot of people see when we talked to Graydon, he's even talked about how he disliked it. I kind of wish we got his perspective on it, but I will say one thing: it's better to have someone who was independent at first and can demonstrate that, and I think that's better energy to bring in than someone who was a lifelong Democrat. Yeah. Again, it's just when we talk about it like this, it comes off like, oh, we just got to accept the Democrats.
No, it just comes off that like you're like a DNC hound. But I'm like, well, what am I going to lie to myself that jumping off the boat there's going to be a rowboat at the bottom? No, because they banned rowboats. They banned a viable option like Cornel West or Marion, like even Marion Williamson, who's in the Democratic Party. Like, she isn't as below. Like, she's going to have a lot more say. Like RFK Jr., they're going to have a lot more say than somebody like Cornel West. But at the end of the day, yeah, no, it's true that the Democratic Party doesn't like those people that don't share the top-down positions.
Well, we can ask our next guest about voting. We can finally get a third opinion on this insane hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Also, side announcement: we got a host we got a guest coming in the next week. We're finally doing interviews again, yay! And if this one goes well and we don't absolutely fuck it up somehow, we're going to do more interviews.
Yeah.
And hopefully not make more enemies. We haven't made any yet, but, yeah. We'll liven this place the fuck up a little bit.
Oh, boy.
I know, right? Serious. Maybe we'll finally earn our way to become members of the Robes.
Maybe it won't be as war. But no, that's probably not happening until much later.
Oh, God. Yeah, to be fair, if we ever did in-house interviews, I would definitely want to get a studio for that.
Well, of course.
I don't want to bring random
ass space.
I don't want to bring random ass motherfuckers to my house.
No.
Holy shit. All right. Anyway, there you go, you guys. You guys got our plans, and we'll update you a little more in the future.
Bye-bye.
Bye.